I keep on seeing that there is a pattern of questions that the clients keep asking, and some of them are extremely repetitive.
Think of Reiki as a maintenance, as a relaxation session that will do you so good. It's going to be so good for you to receive.
বেসিক্যালি অসুস্থ হলে তো ডেফিনেটলি, বাট অসুস্থ না হলেও জাস্ট ফর ইউর মেনটেনেন্স আপনারা কিন্তু রেকি করতে পারেন। নেক্সট কোয়েশ্চেনে যাচ্ছি।
If I may add, right? I have the microphone. Because you were saying, well, first of all, they shouldn't call me an expert, okay? Because they're the expert. Did you just see what just happened?
Namaskar, friends.
নমস্কার।
Today, as you can see, it's not just me alone. We have two wonderful people with me. I'll come to them and introduce them. I'm very excited to start the Reiki series that I promised that I will, and also in the month of June. So this is the Reiki series, and this is the first episode. I am very excited today because I have my guest with me today. But before I introduce the guest, I want to tell you that this is going to be a free series for all of you, for all the Reiki aspirants, and also for every spiritual aspirant who are probably learning something else, but they want to know more about Reiki, more about healing, more about alternate and complementary medicine. If you have interest to know more about these things, this series is for you. And it's free, so you need to like it, share it amongst your peers, and talk about it. Talk about spiritual healing and Reiki as I will be doing it down the road. And you will be seeing subsequent episodes coming along. You know that I am a Reiki Master teacher, and so is Shyamosree, who is sitting with me today. So what we are going to do, we are going to introduce our very special guest on the first episode, from whom actually we got the wonderful gift of Reiki. That is Elena Oulianova. And we are doing it in her studio in Montreal today. So we are very excited to have her, and I think she will be a wonderful mouthpiece to talk about Reiki, because Elena started her journey in 2016, and as we will go through the conversation, we will discover more about her learning, we will discover more about her lineage and everything. So I'm not sharing all these things with you now because Elena will do that. And momentarily, as most of this conversation will be done in English, momentarily in between or towards the end, we will see as how we actually guide this free flow conversation. Shyamosree will translate some essential part of this podcast in Bengali. I know that a lot of you are also audience who understand Bengali, so you will also be able to comprehend. Bear in mind that in the upcoming episodes, probably I'll be talking about healing and Reiki with Shyamosree, or sometimes it's me alone. But I think it will be injustice to Reiki healing or Reiki itself if I don't do the first episode with our own teacher, which is Elena. So off to Elena. I'll start with the first question. I'll ask the first question to Elena, and then we will get going with it. So stay with us and watch the video till the end.
জাস্ট আই ওয়ান্ট টু অ্যাড সামথিং। আমি বাংলাতে বলছি কারণ দেখুন, বাংলাতে গেলে আপনারা অনেকেই আছেন যারা বাংলায় কথা বলেন, তো তাদের সঙ্গে কানেক্ট করাটাও আমাদের একটা গোল তো বটেই। যেরকম অভিষেক বলল, আজকে আমরা যার কাছে রেকি শিখেছি তার সঙ্গে আমরা ইন্ট্রোডিউস করব। কোয়েশ্চেনগুলো আপনারা শুনুন, উনি কি বলছেন আমি চেষ্টা করব সেগুলো বাংলায় আপনাদের কাছে পৌঁছে দিতে, যেহেতু এটা আমাদের ফার্স্ট এপিসোড।
Welcome to the podcast, and thank you for agreeing to have this before we are moving to a new chapter of our life, and thank you for allowing us in your beautiful studio. And the first question is as obvious as you might guess. I want to start with the fact that tell me a little bit about your journey into the world of Reiki and your lineage.
Okay. First of all, thank you so much for taking time to watch our episode. And it's an honor to be with these beautiful, kind people and very gifted masters of Reiki. So it's my honor, and I'm very happy to have you. Thank you so much. And
Our pleasure.
we created a beautiful friendship, and I hope we will continue for the rest of our lives.
Absolutely.
একদম
So my Reiki journey. It was very interesting. I'm a curious person naturally, and I was always curious about energy. And before I was a Reiki master, I was working as an esthetician, taking care of people, aesthetics, mostly women. And one day, this young girl, she comes in for her aesthetic services. And to start the conversation, I would always say, I'll say, okay, what do you do in life? You work, you study. She's young. I said, what are you doing? And she goes, I'm a Reiki master. I said, wow, what's that? Never heard of it. And she said something, really, one sentence, and she said, it's something about rebalancing chakras, something about chakras and energies. And I'm like, wow, that's so interesting, how you do that. And she's like, well, there is a session to do it, and that's how we work. And I said, okay, can we exchange services? I'll take care of you, you take care of me. So she was happy to agree to that, right? So we do this session, and she just told me to lie down on a massage table in my clothes, just be quiet. And she literally went through hand positions, some kind of hand positions above my body. And I felt very peaceful, very resting. It was really, really nice, very relaxing. And then at the end, when she was at my feet, she was touching my feet. And the second she lifted up her hands, I felt that something just left my shoulders, off my shoulders, like an energy. And I'm like, oh, something happened. And I got all excited because, wow, something happened. It's related to her movements. And that was the end of the session. And I'm all excited telling her about it. And she smiles and she said, now that's nice. And I said, yes, but what is it? And she didn't say a word. She didn't explain anything. And then she tells me, she said, I also teach Reiki. I said, let me go and use Google and see what Reiki is and find a teacher that I would resonate, who would explain me more things so I can learn more, so I can use it on people. So that was the beginning of my journey. So I went home, I used my computer, and I found a teacher I felt was the most suitable at that time here in Montreal, and that's how it started.
Okay.
And the lineage.
The lineage.
The lineage. Okay. So there are over 100 systems of Reiki in the world. You already know it also. So the lineage, it all is coming from Usui Reiki system that was introduced to the world in 1922. So we all come from the roots. The ancestor of Reiki is Usui, right? We all come from there. And then because there are different systems of Reiki in the world that are offered, and these kind of branches of energies, of Reiki energies, were received by the people who were destined to bring it. William Leerand is one of them. So the system that we work with and practice is the Usui Holy Fire Reiki system. William Leerand is the second person that branch started from there. But he's so humble, he doesn't even say that. He said, I'm not the one. So we still go from Usui Reiki as the root of Reiki.
I think that is fascinating, and thank you for sharing that part. I would like to share this perspective with the audience, what Elena just mentioned so beautifully, that in the world of Reiki, we always say that we get compliments that if we have done some healing, it's us. When clients walk into our life, and if you are a Reiki practitioner, you will know what I'm saying. But it's actually not us. It's the energy that we connect to the pure consciousness, or if you want to give a name to the pure consciousness, that's completely up to you. It could be Christ, it could be Kali, it could be Shakti, it could be Shiva. It's your choice, but it's the pure consciousness. And I think this is the most beautiful spiritual aspect of Reiki, and for any sadhana or for any spiritual modality where we are the instruments, as we say in yoga, we are the nimittas of the pure consciousness. And I think that's the best thing to remind ourselves, and not to get bogged down into the world of ego, that it's not I'm doing it, it's the higher consciousness which is doing it through me. I think Elena has beautifully just reminded us once again about how she feels about it, and spoke about William Rand as well, who is very much associated with the Holy Fire Reiki. So, if any one of you are watching this podcast and you are a Holy Fire Reiki practitioner from the William Lee Rand lineage, do give us a thumbs up and put your comments. And if you are watching us from another lineage of Reiki, the Usui Reiki, the authentic traditional Usui Reiki, do let us know as well, because I think the beauty of Reiki is the many branches that Elena talked about. It is not about the superiority of one branch over the other, but it's like putting all the good things and the great things together and mash them up in the blender and make the beautiful smoothie out of it and do your healing. I think that's the beauty of the Reiki lineages. So with that, we'll go to the next question, unless Shyamosree has to add something to it.
Before we are going to the next question, আমি জাস্ট বাংলায় ছোট করে বলতে চাই যে এলেনার কোথা থেকে এইটা রেকি সম্বন্ধে একটা কিউরিওসিটি এলো, কেন এলেনা রেকি করতে চাইলো, এবং লিনিয়েজটা কি, মানে কোথায় প্রথম শুরু হয়েছিল, আমরা যে রেকিটা করি কে প্রথম সেই রেকিটাকে এনেছিল। তো বেসিক্যালি এলেনা যেটা বললেন সেটা হচ্ছে শুরুটা হয়েছিল কাজ করতে করতেই। ওনার কাছে একজন এসেছিলেন এবং তিনি বলেছিলেন যে তার প্রফেশন হচ্ছে রেকি, শি ওয়াজ আ রেকি মাস্টার। তো সেখান থেকে কিউরিয়াসিটি হয়, বিকজ এলেনা যেটা বলেছে, শি ইজ আ ভেরি কিউরিয়াস পারসন অ্যান্ড শি ইজ অ্যাকচুয়ালি, মানে এলেনা সত্যি বিভিন্ন দিকে তার উৎসাহ আছে। তো সেই উৎসাহের খাতিরেই এলেনা গিয়েছিল এবং জিজ্ঞেস করেছিল যে রেকিটা কী, এবং রেকি করাতে গিয়ে হঠাৎ এলেনা অনুভব করেছিল যখন পাতে রেকি কমপ্লিট করছে এবং হাতটা পা থেকে তুলছে, কিছু একটা তার যেন কাঁধ থেকে সরে যাচ্ছে। এটা কি, এটা কি জানতে জানতেই এলেনা এসে গেছে রেকির এই বিশাল পৃথিবীতে, আই উড সে। সো লিনিয়েজের দিক থেকে যদি কে হয়, এবং আপনারা অনেকেই বলেছেন উসুই রেকি আপনারা করেন, হোলি ফায়ারটা কি, বাট শুনলেন তো আজকে এলেনার কাছ থেকে, উনি যেটা বললেন উসুই রেকির লিনিয়েজ কিন্তু বিভিন্ন ব্রাঞ্চে গেছে, এবং আমরা মানে এলেনা যার কাছ থেকে শিখেছেন উইলিয়াম লি র্যান্ড, উনি কিন্তু এটারই একটা ব্রাঞ্চ, বাট উনি এই একটা স্পেশাল ফর্ম অফ রেকি নিয়ে এগিয়ে চলেছেন যেটার নাম হচ্ছে হোলি ফায়ার রেকি। বাট হোলি ফায়ারটা এসেছে কিন্তু উসুই রেকির থেকে। তো অভিষেক, আমরা নেক্সট কোয়েশ্চেনে একটু যাই।
Absolutely. See, the way I was thinking even this morning, that what kind of questions should we ask Elena? And believe me, Elena, I gathered these questions. Many of these questions are mine, and some of them have come to me over the years of our own Reiki experiences and also from our clients. I keep on seeing that there is a pattern of questions that the clients keep asking, and some of them are extremely repetitive. And these are great questions because we are still actually I would say digging out the answers of many of them. So I thought, why not ask the expert itself, and let's get the answer from her. So my second question to Elena is on behalf of a lot of you guys, that how, or rather where does Reiki work? Is it only effective in treating common cold, or it works nicely on cancer, or on what areas? Can you throw some light on where can Reiki effectively work?
I just want to add something with Abby's question as well, whether it person can come if he doesn't or she doesn't have anything. It's just like no disease or nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very valid point.
I often say you don't need to wait for the crisis to come and receive Reiki.
True.
Okay, so maybe there's some people here who actually never even heard of Reiki or still don't understand what Reiki is. Reiki, the word Reiki is just a Japanese word because it was Yusui Mikao who received Reiki originally. He received the guidance how to introduce these cosmic healing energies to this, to humans, to humanity. Okay, the energy of the divine. So they've been there since the beginning of everything. It's divine cosmic energy. It's a field of energy that has the quality that can heal any living being. So Reiki, what it means is guided by the source of all knowing, pure consciousness, as Abhi said very well, guided by the source of all knowing, life energy force, like prana, the non-physical energy. That's what Reiki is. It is available to anyone who is open to receive it. It runs through our body all the time, because otherwise we wouldn't be even alive. Okay, and when we receive Reiki as a session, think about it, that you're just asking for this boost of fresh energy to rebalance your energy. Again, speaking of chakras, it's a very good keyword, to rebalance the flow, the natural flow within your body, within your energy field, for you personally, for your well-being. Where Reiki can be used on, or how we can use Reiki, it's anything you can imagine for. It is for your well-being. It is, yes, obviously, if somebody is not well, sure, we use energy and we can work with energy. What it does is, when the receiver, whether it's an animal, a plant, or a human being, when the receiver receives energy, this energy, Reiki energy, because the Reiki energy is of higher frequency, is the highest frequency we can channel, the body, when it starts receiving this energy, the body starts aligning with this frequency of energy by releasing low frequency energy, the energies of pains, emotional pains, physical pains, mental troubles, thoughts, beliefs that are limiting to the person, to the receiver. So the energy is scanning your body, looking for those energy blockages, looking for where the energies are blocked, where there's no fluent flow. And the energy, because it's coming from the divine, it has the pure consciousness, the intelligence, it knows where it is, it knows how to find it. Moreover, it knows what's the reason. It knows even the reason why we created this blockage, because it's us who created blockages, energy blockages. So it knows the reason, it knows how to help us. And it even knows if we're ready to release these energies. So every time we receive Reiki, whatever, let's say if I'm receiving, whatever I'm ready to release at this point of my life, maybe some sorrow, maybe some anger, maybe some, I don't know what, grief, insecurities, I don't know, any thoughts that are of a low frequency, lower than a frequency of love. So if I'm ready to release it, these energies are going to help me right there. And all these blockages are going to be released. Whether I'm physically sick already, that I made myself physically sick, that I got to that point, that I stored these emotions for such a long time. Right. That's what happens. That's how we get sick physically, right? Or it's maybe I just accumulated it. Maybe it's somewhere I'm not physically sick, but I still feel heaviness in my heart, busyness in my head, any of this. The energy just goes into these places where the energy is in imbalance, where there's no harmony, and helps my body, it works with the consciousness of my body, helps my body to release those unnecessary energies that I stored. And it's not to feel guilty about it, it's not to be ashamed of it, it's not to judge myself. I just accumulated, I'm human, okay? I'm human here on earth. I store those energies. So Reiki comes as this good doctor, just cleans my energy, rebalances the entire flow of my body, rebalances all my chakras, and I leave the session feeling restful, empowered, feeling great, and the results and the effects are lasting for weeks. If I'm open to receive, I'm going to receive so much. One session can do beautiful miracles, and miracles are real.
Absolutely. I cannot word it the way Elena said. There's only one summary to her answer. Reiki can create miracles, and don't try to find a logic into it. Just imbibe and taste the miracle. If you are going through a difficult phase in life, through energy blocks, through a crisis-like situation, and you expose yourself to Reiki, as Elena said, miracles will happen, as Reiki always works. It's a beautiful energy. It has no negative properties because its source is pure consciousness, as to be believed. It does not have any potential harmful effect at all. So thank you, Elena, for answering this question. And again, she said something. Reiki works on well-being. Reiki also works in a crisis situation. So it works in every situation. If you want to
Exactly.
add something to
Yes.
it.
If the person is not, if the person is not physically ill, everything is okay, we're still too busy in our lives. The mind, the head is always busy. So think of Reiki as a maintenance, as a relaxation session that will do you so good. It's going to be so good for you to receive a beautiful, beautiful energies like Reiki.
So something like mindfulness and yoga, like we do it every day because we want to maintain our system.
Exactly.
So what you're saying is Reiki also falls in that category.
It's
Am I
another
right?
tool. It's another tool for your well-being to maintain your inner peace, for you to feel centered, to be grounded, to feel centered, to feel good. Yeah.
Absolutely. And while you are listening to this amazing discussion, if any question comes to your mind, I'm sure there are, do write it in our comment section, because I promise you that I'll try to bring them, I'll try to bring a solution of those questions in my way from my own research that we will do. And we are still doing it. And those will be highlighted in the upcoming episodes of the series. And of course, they will answer many of your questions based on spiritual healing, Reiki. So they will be answered. And I know that there are many questions that are coming to your mind. So write down the questions. Don't think much. Simply put into a comment section. And by that time, let's go to Shyamosree and see if she has anything to say in Bangla.
That's a lot to translate.
না আমি পুরোটা ট্রান্সলেট করব না আপনাদের জন্য, বিকজ এটা সম্ভব নয়। দ্য ওয়ে শি এক্সপ্লেইন, এলেনা যেভাবে বলেছেন সেটা ডেফিনেটলি ইটস আ লট। কিন্তু একটা কথাই আমি বলবো, যে কোয়েশ্চেনটা ছিল আমরা কি জাস্ট যখন অসুস্থ হব তখনই রেকি নিতে যাব, নাকি আমরা যখন সুস্থ আছি তখনও আমরা রেকি করাতে যেতে পারি। তো এলেনা যেটা বললো, রেকি আমরা তখনই করাতে যেতে পারি। রেকি বেসিক্যালি আমাদের সব এনার্জিগুলোকে, নেগেটিভ এনার্জিগুলোকে বের করে দেয়, দিয়ে পজিটিভ, রেকির যে পজিটিভ এনার্জিগুলো দিয়ে সেটাকে ব্যালেন্স করে। তো নেগেটিভ এনার্জি আমরা কিভাবে অ্যাকুমুলেট করি, নাকি আমরা যখন অসুস্থ হচ্ছি তখন বিভিন্ন সময় ধরে আমরা যে কষ্ট পাচ্ছি, বা আমাদের যে স্ট্রেস হচ্ছে, বা আমরা যে নেগেটিভ কথা ভাবছি, এগুলো আস্তে আস্তে অ্যাকুমুলেটেড হচ্ছে এবং আমাদের অজান্তেই এগুলো জমে জমে আমাদের শরীর খারাপে পরিণত হচ্ছে। তো রেকি করে কি, সেই শরীর খারাপগুলোকে, সেই নেগেটিভ এনার্জিগুলোকে বের করে দেয়। কিন্তু প্রথমে এলেনা যেটা দিয়ে শুরু করলেন সেটা হচ্ছে আমাদের ওয়েট করা উচিত না অসুস্থ হওয়া পর্যন্ত।
I understand that.
আমরা কিন্তু অসুস্থ হওয়ার আগেই, যেখানে আমরা ফিজিক্যালি অসুস্থ নয়, সেই অবস্থাতেই আমরা কিন্তু রেকি নিতে যেতে পারি, কারণ রেকি বেসিক্যালি কিন্তু আমাদের মেনটেনেন্সের কাজ করে। মেনটেনেন্সটা কি, আমরা যখন বুঝতে পারছি না আমাদের কোথাও নেগেটিভ কিছু জমা হচ্ছে কিনা, নেগেটিভ এনার্জি জমা হচ্ছে কিনা, যেহেতু আমরা হিউম্যান হয়ে এইখানে জন্মেছি, আমরা মানুষ হয়ে জন্মেছি, সেই নেগেটিভ এনার্জিগুলো কিন্তু আমাদের অজান্তেই আমরা নিজেদের মধ্যে জমা করতে শুরু করেছি। সো রেকি কিন্তু সেইগুলোকে খুঁজে, সেই নেগেটিভ এনার্জিগুলোকে বের করে দিতে থাকে যখন আমরা ফিজিক্যালি অসুস্থ নই। সো রেকি করার পরে কিন্তু প্রত্যেক সেশনেই, তাই যারা আপনারা রেকি করেছেন বা আমরা যারা রেকি করি, আমরা কিন্তু জানি একটা রেকি সেশনের পরে আমরা অনেক বেশি রিফ্রেশ হয়ে যাই, আমরা অনেক বেশি এনার্জাইজড হয়ে যাই, আমরা অনেক বেশি পজিটিভ হয়ে যাই। সো তার কারণ কিন্তু এটাই। বেসিক্যালি অসুস্থ হলে তো ডেফিনেটলি, বাট অসুস্থ না হলেও জাস্ট ফর ইয়োর মেনটেনেন্স আপনারা কিন্তু রেকি করতে পারেন যদি আপনারা চান। নেক্সট কোয়েশ্চেনে যাচ্ছি।
If I may add, right? I have the microphone. Because you were saying, well, first of all, they shouldn't call me an expert, okay? Because they're the expert. Did you just see what just happened? This is incredible.
We should not fight over this. You are to judge who is the expert, okay?
Absolutely. So, what we were saying is we were thinking of adults and we forgot about children. For children to receive Reiki, Do you see what's going on in the world? How hard it is, how sensitive children are, and it is even harder for them to be in the world at this point. Okay, so when they receive Reiki, this is a beautiful maintenance. These energies, it's like it's their home, it's their divine nature. They feel this energy, they connect with this energy, they don't need any explanation to this energy, and they just feel supported and protected. And these energies help them, to be their unique selves, allows them to be who they are. And it also helps the relationship within the family. When the family receives Reiki, it just harmonizes the energies of the entire family.
True.
When one person's energy field changes with Reiki help, everybody's around energies are changing. Yeah. It goes to the collective level. It's beautiful.
A very valid point, and there is something before I move on to the next question that Elena mentioned also. I'll just rephrase it on my behalf. She mentioned a very critical point that yes, Reiki does good things. It's good for someone who wants to maintain the well-being. It's good for someone who is in a crisis or a disease state. What is important for us to understand when we expose ourselves to healing is every day as a human being, we are not going through a 100% ideal state. Throughout the 24-hour cycle, our body clock goes through different dimensions and it picks up a lot of trash. Yeah. Think about it. Going to the office, meeting the boss, having a wonderful meeting, having a terrible meeting, seeing someone you don't like, staying with someone you like, a very nice, beautiful, romantic dinner, a very bad movie and how you feel after it. You read the news and your head started, banging.
Don't read the news.
So see, a lot of people don't read the news. That's the thing. So all these things actually add a lot of garbage into our system. So it is ideally speaking, our moral duty to do something for well-being daily. Like I get this question a lot.
Absolutely.
How much should I do Reiki or yoga? My answer is do it like every half an hour. That's not practical, but do it every day, because every day you are picking up the dirt. But it's like cleaning your house. Our body is a temple. We know that. Clean your temple every day. Don't wait for the trash to accumulate for 1 month and then clean it. That's the message I would like to complement with what Elena said. And we all want to say this in chorus. Reiki is an alternate and complementary therapy.
Absolutely.
If you guys are going through a standard Medicare, like standard medical like procedure from general medicine, or going through a surgery or post-surgical thing, don't ignore that, because this is alternate and complementary medicine. This complements, and this is an alternative. Yeah. Don't stop your family doctor visit or visit to your surgeon. That should continue. Yes, you could have a scenario someday when your medicines are getting reduced and they ultimately stop, because every medicine or pill has a side effect. But because you are doing an alternative medicine exposure, you have that ability to do it. Don't stop going to the doctor, because that's a very important factor. We never say that this is the ultimate substitute and you stop everything else. No,
it's a complementary.
It's a complementary thing,
and it's wonderful.
It will
support the medication, the body absorbing medication, the therapies that people take. Right?
Yes.
I'm sorry for the interruption, because it will work at the mental and energetical level.
Yes, and it also reduces the therapy time, which means the bills that you are paying in the hospitals, you can reduce that time in the hospital through Reiki maybe, which means you are paying less, which is good, and you are getting cured faster.
Right.
So in every aspect, it's wonderful. Can we move on to the next question now? Okay. So the next question is, if someone wants to proceed in life now with Reiki as a business model,
I see.
What's your opinion to them who are thinking of having Reiki as a career and open a new chapter of their life?
Building a practice, healing practice.
Yes, healing practice. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, they have to, first of all, the intention that needs to be there from the heart, that they want to build a Reiki practice, right? And then, obviously, they will be guided by the divine, by their spirit family and the ancestors and the cosmic family that will bring inspirations, will bring guidance on how to do it. What the most important advice, what I would think that I can give, is just follow your heart. you can look around and you could see how others are building. And you can see, okay, oh, this could be a good idea. Okay, this can be a good idea. So you just kind of like, okay, what is going on? It's like you're doing your marketing, right? You check it out, okay? But then you take the time to sit down with yourself and say, okay, well, what suits me? What is my goal? What are my abilities? How I want to introduce Reiki? Because again, Reiki is a field of healing energies. Any person who receives a training from the first level, they get access to work with this field of healing energies. But how we work there is an absolutely unique way, right? We all work in a safe environment. We don't harm anybody. We are protected with the energy also for our own work. But what happens is whatever gifts you have, they're going to be enhanced.
Right.
And it's your soul destiny to work with your own unique gifts through Reiki, right? So Shami, she's an artist, so she can work with colors. She can create beautiful sessions, the combinations where Reiki will be flowing, and she will be doing something else with art therapy, for example, right? You yoga, for example, you can the breathing, anything that you want to do, you can incorporate Reiki into that. So depending on the person, on their desires of their heart, how they want to build it, what they want, they just need to sit down with themselves and really see, okay, what is my way of working with Reiki, and how can I introduce my way of working with Reiki? And it's guaranteed when it's coming from the heart, it will work, and you will, with some time, create a beautiful, unique practice. Okay.
True.
That I would say that just follow your heart and don't be afraid. Do not compare yourself to others. You look, you study, you do this little marketing. You just see, oh, this makes sense. That doesn't resonate with me. And it's without judgments, like, oh, no, that's not for me. That, okay, I like that. Okay. So then you like pick up little things, but then you create something, your own mix. You do that. So you're not competing with Reiki. Competing with Reiki, it doesn't make any sense. Reiki practitioner, any healer, anybody who works with healing energies, competition shouldn't be even there. It's sharing, it's adding, it's adding to the collective. You show up with your offer, okay? And me, I always say, whether I worked in aesthetics before or with Reiki, I always say it's the client who decides who to go to. Right. You just open your heart, you offer, you say, honestly what you're offering, and then the client, potential client, will find everybody and will say, oh, I feel like I resonate with this energy, all energy. So they will choose who they resonate with. So that's why there shouldn't be any fears, no competition. You just open from your heart.
Like no nasty or negative competition.
Be humble, no competition at all. No, just be humble. You work with energy, you guide it. You have guides, specific guides who walk you on this journey where you assist others to heal themselves. Yes. Like Abhi, you said, it's not us. It's the divine that heals, right? It's the pure consciousness. Yes, we're part of the work, but the energy is coming from the cosmos. So that energy is only love there, pure love. So any unhealthy ego we have, and it's normal, we have it, but we gotta work on it to heal it, to minimize it as much as possible. And when we work in this field, we're faced with different situations where we recognize that. We're like, oh, I still need to heal that. Yeah. So we need to heal that. So the less we have of that low energy, it's beautiful, and we work better and better with this energy, staying humble, and just wanted to share this with everybody else. So that's just from my experience. No, I'm still working on my own things.
That's a beautiful question, but that's a beautiful reply to my question and points that you mentioned. And I don't know if you are mind reading, because you kind of mentioned things which actually leads to my next question by default. But before I ask you the next question, I'll ask if you have something to say.
Basically, কোয়েশ্চেনটা নিশ্চয়ই আপনারা বুঝতেই পেরেছেন। রেকি নিয়ে আপনারা যদি বিজনেস করতে চান বা আপনাদের ক্যারিয়ার রেকিতে করতে চান, আপনারা কি করতে পারেন? তো এলেনা যেটা বললেন, কেরিয়ার, হ্যাঁ, আপনার কিছু মার্কেটিং সার্ভে সেগুলো তো করতে হবে, কিন্তু সবার আগে যেটা করা দরকার, এটা নিয়ে যদি আপনি বিজনেসের পথে বা কেরিয়ার পথে এগোতে চান, সবার আগে আপনার যেটা করা দরকার সেটা নিজেকে কোয়েশ্চেন করা দরকার যে আপনার কি হার্ট বলছে রেকি নিয়ে এগোনোর কথা। যদি কোয়েশ্চেনটার উত্তর হ্যাঁ হয়, তাহলে ডেফিনেটলি রেকি নিয়ে এগোবেন, এবং রেকি নিয়ে এগোনোর জন্য কিন্তু আপনাকে কারোর সঙ্গে কম্পিটিশনে যেতে হবে না। ওটা কিন্তু মূল মন্ত্র যেটা এলেনা বলল, সব শেয়ারিং দিয়ে, এবং আপনি আপনার গাইড যে আছেন বা আপনি যাকে ওয়ার্শিপ করেন, আপনি যাকে মানেন, আপনি যে ভগবানকে মানতে পারেন বা আপনি যে ধর্মের হতে পারেন, বিভিন্ন ধর্মের হতে পারেন, তাকে জিজ্ঞেস করতে পারেন যে আপনি কি নিয়ে এগোবেন, আপনার স্পেশাল কোয়ালিটি কি। রেকি সেই কোয়ালিটিকে কিন্তু আরও বাড়িয়ে দেয়। ফর এক্সাম্পল, আপনারা যারা আঁকতে ভালোবাসেন তাদের আঁকা নিয়ে কিছু করতে পারেন, আপনারা যারা যোগা নিয়ে এগোচ্ছেন তারা যোগা নিয়ে কিছু রেকি নিয়ে ভাবতে পারেন। বাট সবার আগে দরকার আপনার এই পজিটিভ ইন্টেনশনটা। ইন্টেনশন বলতে আপনার পজিটিভ ধারণাটা, যেটা মাধ্যমে আপনি রেকি নিয়ে এগোতে পারেন। আর কম্পিটিশন করে, আনহেলদি মারামারি ইগো করে কিন্তু এটা নিয়ে এগোনো যাবে না। হ্যাঁ, ডেফিনেটলি আমরা যখন মানুষ, আমাদের ইগো হয়তো এসে যাবে, কিন্তু রেকি নিয়ে কাজ করতে করতে আমরা সেই ইগোটাকে কমিয়ে আমরা অনেক হাম্বল হয়ে আমরা সেইভাবে এগিয়ে যেতে পারি। থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ এলেনা, এক্সপ্লেন in this way, in this explicit way. It's wonderful. Before Abby is asking a question, one question came in my mind because you mentioned some competition, some unhealthy ego. There are some people who are mentioning, I don't specify you who they are, but they're saying that Reiki has some negative effect. Reiki can harm you. Don't do Reiki. Is it true? I'm just curious. Like, I think both of us are curious.
By the way, they both know the answer, okay? But we're working here together for you guys, okay? So it's a very good question. It's a very good question. Actually, I was just teaching 2 days ago a class, and there was a lady, and she follows somebody on Instagram, you know, and she was asked, it was a level 1, so they come, they don't know much about Reiki, and it's wonderful when people ask questions, and it was a similar question. She also said, she said, oh, I follow some, you know, account on Instagram, and she said, what I'm reading is that some people are saying, be careful when you go and receive Reiki, because, and also be careful when you do Reiki, when you give Reiki to somebody, because you can take somebody's karma into you, or you can pass your karma into your receiver. And she was asking me, is it true? I said, well, just stop for a second and just feel with your heart this imagine that happens, okay, right? And I said, how do you think is possible that the divine, the pure love, the pure consciousness will punish you for helping somebody to heal? But just think about it. This is an example of the conscious mind, right? So what happens with Reiki, personally why I decided to learn Reiki, actually to do Reiki, is because this is one of the methods where we do not exchange our human personal energy, okay? And we just were talking about our little egos and things that we need to heal, and we will need to heal them for the rest of our lives. We're part of humans here. We all have them, okay? So what happens is we do still have some, I don't know, anger or sadness, or I don't know, some emotions that we, let's say, keep working on. And then the person comes to us to receive Reiki. But that's the amazing thing about Reiki, that we do not give the receiver a part of our personal energy, those emotions that we need to work on, and we're not taking any of the emotions or I don't know, sicknesses or any low frequency energy from the receiver into our energy field either. When we give Reiki, we become like a wire. Imagine a wire, a computer wire. You plug yourself into the cosmos, you become a wire, And through this wire, the Reiki pure energy of love, the frequency, is flowing into what is your receiver, whether your computer or your live being, right?
Like a Wi-Fi.
There you go, right? So what happens is, that's why the first time when I read about Reiki and I said, this is amazing. There's no exchange of a personal energies. So it's not like, oh, I have a possibility, a chance that I'm going to get some sickness from this person while I'm working on a cancer patient. No, not at all. Our personal energies are not involved. And so you don't get tired. You can get tired from physical positions, right? Sometimes you hold your hands for too long. You're like, okay, my shoulders are tired. But after the session, you're so re-energized. Like Shami was explaining in a beautiful language. I could sit and listen the whole day. It sounds like a music to my ears, right? She said re-energize. I understand that because she said it in English, right? So that's what happens. We get re-energized. So it just flows through us, flows into the receiver, and then out into the Mother Earth or into the light. And it just disappears and becomes neutral again. Because there's no bad energy or positive energy as energy in cosmos. It's an energy, right? That's what happens. So no, the answer is we will never exchange. We will never take on somebody's bad energy. We will never give our own bad energy to anybody. It has nothing to do with that. That's why it's an amazing, safe method of working with energy for our well-being. Did I answer your question? Yes?
ইয়েস অ্যাবসলিউটলি। সো আমার কোয়েশ্চেনটা ছিল যে রেকি কি আমাদের কোনো খারাপ করতে পারে রেকি এনার্জির থেকে, বা আমরা কি খারাপ এনার্জি নিতে পারি, বা আমরা যেটা ভাবছি সেই আমাদের যে নেগেটিভ এনার্জিটা যারা আমাদের কাছে রেকি নিতে আসছেন বা যাদের আমরা চ্যানেলাইজ করছি রেকি, তারা কি সেই এনার্জিটা নেবেন? সো এলেনা যেটা এক্সপ্লেন করলেন যে না, এটা সম্ভব না, আপনারাই ভেবে দেখুন এনার্জিটা আসছে কিন্তু পিওর কনসিয়াসনেস বা ডিভাইন, বা আপনারা যদি ভগবান বলেন ভগবানের কাছ থেকে। সো ভগবানের আমরা সবাই সন্তান, তিনি আমাদের কখনো খারাপ করতে পারেন না। ইন দ্যাট ওয়ে যে অ্যান্সারটা হচ্ছে না, সেটা সম্ভব নয়। এটা কাইন্ড অফ হচ্ছে আমাদের একটা সোর্সে আমরা কম্পিউটারে একটা প্লাগ দিয়ে দিচ্ছি, এবং সেই প্লাগটা আমাদের আমরা সেই ওয়্যারটা এবং আমাদের থ্রু দিয়ে, আপনারা ওয়াইফাই বলতে পারেন বা এনার্জি বলতে পারেন, সেটা কিন্তু যে রিসিভ করছে তার কাছে চলে যাচ্ছে। থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ এলেনা ফর এক্সপ্লেনিং ইট সো নাইসলি। we're moving to the next question. Over to you, Abby.
We are getting closer towards the end of this podcast, but it's not like bombarding questions on Elena and getting answers. I'm seeing that this is almost becoming like a discussion. And that's the point of this discussion. I think everyone who is practicing alternate therapy in the world should have these discussions, because a lot of people who don't know, we become their access points, in some way. We help them. And I think it's good to help others. So some questions came to my mind. I want to address it from Elena's point. I would say points rather than questions. Elena mentioned something that we don't exchange karmas. It's not just Reiki, in many practices, but for today I'll just say that yes, in Reiki we don't exchange the karmic fate, but we know that we do have a smaller agency under karma, which is free will. And yes, Reiki does take part or impact that free will. In other words, you can imagine that that you are residing in a very bad area geographically, and for next 1 month you are going to see storm every day. You still have to go to work, you still have to do your grocery. What Reiki does, it probably will not stop the tornado or the storm coming in, but it will provide you with the umbrella. It will provide you with the umbrella so that you can go through the storm and do your grocery and do your office work and come back. This is true for many other modalities, but I promise you I will talk about the law of karma, which is an entire podcast by itself in the future. That's a promise, but it's a hint. And I think that's a beautiful point that Elena has mentioned. And also I think this question leads to another confusion. I want to address this before moving to the end of the podcast and next question is, why we ask this question, that will Reiki do this or is Reiki this? Because we are trying to mix two different things, getting confused, and we are mixing two sources and thinking that if that is harmful, this is also harmful. Maybe we are not right about either of them. For example, again, I'm not going into the detail, but the question comes from the fact that there are certain knowledge that we have gathered from yoga or tantra, and we think maybe that is true for Reiki. But first, you have to understand that none of these modalities have negative impact. I know that a lot of you might know from the perspective, from an Indian perspective, I'm saying that the tantra is a huge field, and it's one of the largest field of energy work. It is energy work, where we talk about the Shiva Shakti. It originated from the Shiva Shakti consciousness, from their dialogue. But today in the internet, you will see a lot of bad things about tantra. But is tantra really bad? It's not bad. But it's the human intention. They have taken certain things of tantra and put it into wrong use. It's like you take the lamp, or you light up the fire for incense sticks, or you light up the fire to burn your own house. Fire is not bad, but it's the way you are using it. Similarly, neither tantra is bad nor yoga is bad. Reiki is not bad either. They all come from the pure source. But it's our intention who are probably trying to misalign or, badmouth these modalities, because it is our human ignorance. We have to be very careful as practitioners, as teachers, as Reiki masters, that we also educate ourselves so that we can educate others. That this is not true and this is the right thing. And for the sciencey people, you might be thinking that what I'm talking here, the energy that we talk about in Reiki, and I'm sure Elena will mention something on that line too. We are not again going into the detail, that a lot of people have started comparing Reiki with the Schumann radiation, which comes from one of the layers of the earth. It bounces back. It's a wonderful radiation. And some people think that Reiki energy is somehow, it belongs to a frequency range because it's an energy that is in the same range of the Schumann radiation, which is also very beneficial. There are some books which has now delved into the mechanism of Reiki healing, which involves a lot of electrons. I'm not going to go more sciencey on this, because again, that's probably a week-long journey for a podcast or a discussion. But I want to tell you, yes, Reiki is getting into the world of science. It's getting into labs. It's getting into clinical research, hospitals, and we are seeing some sort of a mechanism evolving. We need that time so that it evolves. We need to be patient. It will evolve. I'm pretty sure about it. And we all will have that answer of the mechanism. So that's all I want to say. And let's move on to the next question. So while we move on to the next question, and this is a very personal question. This is coming from the space of myself and Shyamosree. And it's a surprise for the audience too. So as many of you might have felt from our previous videos or stuff we put into the social media, that both of us, we are moving from Canada, we are going to India. Starting with, we are going to Kolkata. And we're not stopping there actually. We want to keep moving just as the Reiki energy, and we want to take this work that we are doing with Reiki energy, we want to take it to India as well, and we want to keep working on that. So I want Elena to say something. Like, we started this journey, like Elena started her Reiki journey in 2016. We met Elena in 2021 when we actually started this journey, and today we are doing this thing in 2024. Too bad, we should have done it earlier. But what I want to ask Elena, that divine timing, yes, absolutely. Yes. So what I want to ask Elena is, we want your word of wisdom. And what are your thoughts about, we are taking Reiki to India and we want to continue this and also incorporate many other things. There's one thing that you mentioned, art of Shyamosree. We want to incorporate these things in parallel to Reiki and expand this bubble of alternate complementary therapy. It will help millions of other people. Yeah. And also probably cost them less money. So we want to continue on this journey by the grace of Shakti, by the grace of Shiva. So tell me, how do you feel about it? What's your feelings on this? Because we feel scared at times. It's a big thing that we are embarking on. The heart is beating fast. We really want to hear you, because that will probably give us some sort of confidence.
India is on my bucket list, definitely.
Will happen.
Please do come.
Will happen.
Thank you. So I think it feels, I haven't been there yet, but it feels that this is a land of a lot of beautiful energies if people will tune into the kindness of the land. And Reiki is a beautiful, beautiful way to connect with that land even deeper in the most profound ways. You go there, you're from there. In this lifetime, you're from there. Your roots are from there. The land will support you. Everything will be there to support you. Your intention from your pure heart, that's what's important. Okay? There's no space for fears in the heart. If you want to share this with people there, you will succeed, and you will have so many different inspirations. How to introduce Reiki, how to speak about it in a very simple language that people understand, right? Mm-hmm. Because there's nothing complicated about Reiki. That's
right.
The thing. It's our conscious mind, it's our fear-based thoughts, generations, accumulated through generations, right? That create confusions. Because we always try to label everything, and it's a human mind that always tries to label everything to find where it belongs, and why is it like this, and why is it not like that. And, from the Reiki practice, I think one of the biggest challenges, let's say, for Reiki practitioner to be an absolutely unique healer, okay, and I'm talking healer working with the cosmos, obviously, like we said before, okay, it's just to be open and step up into your own powers, because you are unique. You came into this life with your own gifts. Whatever it is, there's nothing little. There's something special that only you can offer to the collective, right? So if you just follow your heart, follow your inspirations, because your soul always speaks through you, the divine always speaks through you. And these things that you love doing and enjoying the most, that get your heart excited, these are your gifts. That's the energy of you. And if you just go with that energy and introduce Reiki in your own words, how you feel about Reiki, doors will start opening. People will start listening to you, and they will know that you're not lying. There's nothing fake about it. You are coming with an open heart, because all you want is share this goodness with others. But you're not forcing them either. Mm-hmm. You're saying, that's what I do, that's what I can offer. It's an honor to offer it to you, but it's up to you. It's like they walk into this Reiki store with you, and they're like, okay, what we can do? And you say, we can do a session one-on-one for whatever reasons you need. We can do a group meditation. We can do a group healing. You can experience it maybe with your partner, your husband, your wife, your child. We can do so many amazing things. We can do it with art. Mm-hmm. There's so many beautiful things, right? So it's just what you want, how you want to introduce Reiki, and you just do that, okay? And that's why in many things I'm really ignorant, because I don't follow many things. I don't read many things like how other people do it. And it's not because I'm an expert. I'm not an expert. There are people using Reiki for 40 years in their lives, or 30 or 20. Okay, one day I'll be there. If I'll be well, it's fine. Divine's timing, right? But I'm just speaking from my own experience, personal experience, and I just always get excited when somebody comes in and want to receive Reiki or want to learn Reiki. Because you know what? Learning Reiki is very special. It's like you become your own doctor, and every single day you can give Reiki to yourself, to your loved ones. You can purify energy of your home. You can change energies within you and around you. Just think about it. You're the one, the initiator, who can change all that. People look, how can I make this energy better? Oh, I don't feel good. Oh, I don't feel, this place is not feeling good. You can do and change all of this every single day if you need it, okay? So learning Reiki, it's like Instead of somebody's giving you the food, you learn how to grow that food, you know? So this is amazing. And yes, it's amazing to exchange sessions with other people, even if you learn Reiki. That's beautiful. Go receive it from others. You know why? As we said before, everyone's unique. Everyone is bringing some of their unique gifts during the session. Somebody's clairvoyant, somebody's, I don't know, brings you certain messages. Somebody has maybe more abilities to work on the physical body, physical sickness. Somebody's at the mental level. But we're all different. But no matter who you receive Reiki from, the first thing is you got to resonate with that person, right? Mm-hmm. Before you go to have a session, feel the energy of that person. If you feel good, you feel, yeah, I would like to go to that person. That's it. That magic, it's already there. It's going to happen. And you're going to receive so much, and it's going to be beautiful. So you guys in India, I just can't wait to hear from you and just see how it unfolds. You just have to trust divine. Mm-hmm. You pray to your God and goddesses. They keep praying, no fear. Your gods and goddesses, they didn't have fear. They don't have fear. So fear is just a filter that you actually don't need. If you want to have more challenges, okay, stay with the fear. But you don't. You just want to flow through it. And anything that will come as challenges, if you're connected with yourself, you're connected with your soul, with your heart, with your divine, you just ask them to help you. We need to ask. Free will. Remember you were saying?
Free will. Yep.
That's it. So when we pray, when we ask, we have a free will. If we don't ask, divine just watches you. Okay, do it. You want it the harder way. Okay, go. It's okay. I'm watching you. But if you ask, they're like, oh, whew, they know we exist. Okay, let's help them. Go. Doors opens.
Right.
Absolutely. And I think that motivates us a lot. I'll come to a point, but let me see if Shyamosree has briefly, she wants to summarize something.
Sorry, I speak so much. Poor Shyamosree.
That's a sign of a great podcast.
So,
more episodes.
Yes. তো বেসিক্যালি অভিষেকের কোয়েশ্চেন ছিল, আমরা তো ইন্ডিয়ায় মুভ করছি, আমরা ভারতবর্ষে যাচ্ছি, ভারতবর্ষে আমরা রেকিটাকে নিয়ে কি এগোতে পারবো? তো ছোট করে বলছি, যেটা এলেনা বলছিলেন, যে ভারতবর্ষ এমন একটি দেশ যেখানে কিন্তু অনেক আমাদের স্পিরিচুয়াল গুরুরা আছেন, তার এনার্জি অনেক বেশি। সেখানে আমরা রেকিটা নিয়ে সেখানে এগিয়ে যেতে পারবো যদি আমাদের ইন্টেনশনে আমরা ভারতবর্ষের যে হার্ট, যে কোর কথাটা, সেইটার সঙ্গে নিজেদের ইন্টেনশন মেলাতে পারি এবং নিজেদের যে ভগবান বা যাকে আমরা মানি তাকে স্মরণ করে এগিয়ে যাই, ভয় না পেয়ে। কারণ ভয় কিন্তু আমাদের পিছিয়ে দেয়, ভয় আবার ওই একটা নেগেটিভ এনার্জি এনে দেয়। সো আমরা রেকিকে বিশ্বাস করে, রেকির কথা শুনে, রেকির ফ্রি উইল বা যেটা আমরা বলতে পারি যেটা স্বাভাবিকভাবে আসছে, যেটা ফ্লুয়েন্টলি আসছে, সেইভাবে আমরা এগিয়ে যেতে পারি। তো এর পরের কোয়েশ্চেন অভিষেক তোমার যেটা আছে, আমরা চলে যাই। We are going to move to the next question.
And that is actually, I don't have any more questions. I got exhausted and I want to stop here.
Let me ask them questions then.
If you have any question, you can ask. Feel free. But I am exhausted with the question because what we gathered from you actually has opened up 100 more doors for probably 100 more episodes. Even I got ideas for the future episodes of the series from Elena. She has touched, she has given overview, but there is much lying underneath, and we are going to dig deeper into that treasure island and we are going to pull it out one by one. But you guys need to be patient. By the way, we spilled the beans and you are watching it here. We are actually going to India, and there are less than 3 weeks as of today, based on the recording date, and we will be continuing our Reiki journey. A lot of you guys, a lot of loved ones send us messages, ask questions that if you guys are continuing your sessions now, will they be continued, how and what. You will get all those answers on the social media. We will personally come to you and process you those informations. Yes, we will continue the Reiki journey, but probably we will spend more time in person now for at least the next chapter of our life. We don't know until when, in India, but we will continue with the Reiki work. And yes, there are more surprises coming in the journey, in the chapter of Reiki that we are envisioning. So stay tuned with us, keep motivating us, and give us that love. And thank you, Elena, for that wonderful time that you gave us, for the wonderful vision that you shared. And nothing can be more beautiful is you talk to your own teacher who taught you Reiki before leaving the land and going to another land and becoming independent. I think this is a very priceless moment. As Indians, we keep talking about the Guru Shishya Parampara. It's the student teacher tradition. It's actually seen in it has a very high pedestal, in the Indian tradition. So I think as we are talking, that is coming to my mind. It's an unforgettable moment for us. And in the older days, we used to make video cassette recordings. Nowadays, we have YouTube, and not just us. I think all of you will keep watching it, replaying it, share it in your community. And we will definitely do it because that will remind us of Elena every time. And we hope to connect in the future as well. That's a promise too. So do you have any last few words to share, just in case?
Definitely. I have to confess something.
Sure.
One of the reasons why I agreed to do that, I love these guys, okay? But remember I said I've never been to India. So I just hope maybe one day I can go there because they're already going to be there.
Fantastic. Yes, I think for that to happen, we need your support too. So keep supporting us, because if you guys support us, we'll be able to grow and get that power from you, just like the Reiki energy. And we will create a bigger energy bubble so that we can also bring Elena to our motherland, India. And there could be more excitement we'll be getting into.
Wow,
and
absolutely.
also I want to say hi to all the people who are listening from India, from Bangladesh, from Sri Lanka. I know there are many Reiki practitioners in India, northern India, southern India, eastern India as well. So hi to all of you. And very soon we are going to probably cross paths. We are going to meet each other in person. And I'm very positive about wonderful things that are coming our way, and it's going to help us. Rest is up to the divine energy, as Elena keeps saying. So thank you for watching this podcast and listening to our conversation. As I promised, I hope to come back to you in a future series episode, and we will keep talking about Reiki. Any Reiki aspirant will love this. This is a free-flowing conversational style podcast. Even if you are not into Reiki and thinking about learning about Indian spiritual wisdom and how it has parallels with Reiki, you will get it here as well. For example, yoga, tantra, and these kind of things. So a lot of things are coming up, and I'm working too, and I'm also working on our moving as well. So see you guys very soon. Till then, namaste.